Cert Punch practice round for AZ-900 Microsoft Azure Fundamental Certification Exam. 20 questions. Read the prompt, choose the best answer before the reveal, then listen for the exam logic behind it. Let's begin. Question 1 of 20. A multinational company is considering using cloud services to improve its operations. They are evaluating the benefits of having multiple regions for their cloud infrastructure. Which of these is an advantage of having multiple regions? Option A, high availability. Option B, low latency. Option C, global footprint. Option D, adhere to government regulations. Option E, all of the above. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option E. Exam logic. Multiple regions provide high availability, low latency, global reach, and compliance options. The correct answer is comprehensive because all listed benefits are valid advantages of multi-region cloud deployment. Question 2 of 20. A company wants to ensure high availability for their applications by reducing the risk of correlated failures that could bring down related virtual machines simultaneously. They are looking for a solution in Azure that allows logical grouping of VMs to achieve this. Which Azure service provides this capability? Option A, Azure Virtual Network. Option B, Azure Load Balancer. Option C, Availability Set. Option D, Azure Backup. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option C. Exam logic. Availability sets group VMs across fault and update domains to prevent correlated failures. The other options are networking or backup services, not high-availability grouping solutions. Question 3 of 20. What service ensures business continuity by keeping business apps and workloads running during outages? When an outage occurs at your primary site, you fail over to a secondary location and access apps from there. Correct answer. Option A, Azure Site Recovery. Option B, Azure Backup. Option C, Azure High Availability. Option D, Azure Fault Tolerance. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option A. Exam logic. Azure Site Recovery manages failover to secondary locations during outages. The trap is confusing it with backup, which is for data protection rather than application continuity. Question 4 of 20. A development team wants to run containers in Azure without the need to manage any virtual machines or adopt additional services. They are looking for the fastest and simplest solution to achieve this. Which Azure service should they use? Option A, Azure Kubernetes Service. Option B, Azure Virtual Machines. Option C, Azure App Service. Option D, Azure Container Instances. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option D. Exam logic. Azure Container Instances run containers without VM management. The elimination queue is avoiding services like AKS or VMs that require infrastructure management. Question 5 of 20. True or false? Virtual machines, VMs, virtualize hardware, while containers virtualize the operating system, OS. Correct answer. Option A, true. Option B, false. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option A. Exam logic. VMs virtualize hardware, while containers virtualize the OS layer. This is a fundamental exam distinction between full virtualization and OS-level virtualization. Question 6 of 20. When using an infrastructure as a service, IaaS model, different parties are responsible for different components of the IT infrastructure. Who is responsible for installing, configuring, and maintaining the operating system in an IaaS model? Option A, the cloud provider. Option B, the customer. Option C, both the cloud provider and the customer. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option B. Exam logic. In IaaS, the customer manages the OS while the provider handles the physical infrastructure. This responsibility boundary is a core exam concept for cloud service models. Question 7 of 20. When considering cloud service models, the distribution of responsibilities between the provider and the customer varies. In which model does the customer have the greatest responsibility, including managing the operating system, applications, and data? Option A, Platform as a Service, PaaS. Option B, Software as a Service, SaaS. Option C, Infrastructure as a Service, IaaS. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option C. Exam logic. IaaS gives customers the most responsibility because they manage the OS, apps, and data. The cloud provider only handles the physical infrastructure. PaaS and SaaS reduce customer responsibility by managing more layers. Question 8 of 20. A company needs a tool to manage files and blobs in their Azure storage account using a graphical interface. They want a standalone application that is compatible with Windows, Mac OS, and Linux operating systems. Which Azure tool provides this functionality? Option A, AsCopy. Option B, Azure Storage Explorer. Option C, Azure File Sync. Option D, Azure Data Factory. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option B. Exam logic. Azure Storage Explorer is a standalone GUI tool for managing Azure storage accounts, supporting Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. AsCopy is a command line tool, not a GUI. Question 9 of 20. A company needs to store large amounts of unstructured data, such as video files and database archives. They are looking for an Azure storage solution that is specifically designed for this type of data. Which Azure storage service should they use? Option A, Azure Queue Storage. Option B, Azure File Storage. Option C, Azure Table Storage. Option D, Azure Blob Storage. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option D. Exam logic. Azure Blob Storage is the correct choice for unstructured data like videos and archives. Queue, file, and table storage are for different data types and structures. Question 10 of 20. A company wants to connect resources that are located in different virtual networks, VNets, so that they can communicate with each other as if they were on the same network. Which Azure feature allows them to achieve this? Option A, Azure VPN Gateway. Option B, Azure Express Route. Option C, Azure Private Link. Option D, Virtual Network Peering. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option D. Exam logic. Virtual network peering connects VNets as if they were on the same network. VPN Gateway and Express Route are for on-premises connections, not VNet to VNet. Question 11 of 20. A company needs a centralized management solution for their diverse infrastructure, including VMware resources, Kubernetes clusters, SQL Server instances, and both on-premises physical and virtual machines. Which Azure service supports this capability? Option A, Azure Site Recovery. Option B, Azure Virtual Network. Option C, Azure Arc. Option D, Azure Monitor. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option C. Exam logic. Azure Arc extends Azure management to multi-cloud and on-premises environments, covering all mentioned services. Trap. Site recovery is for disaster recovery, not centralized management. Question 12 of 20. Which of the following Azure services requires a dedicated circuit to be established ahead of time, allowing for private, high-performance connectivity between an on-premises network and an Azure Virtual Network, VNet? This circuit involves setting up a physical or virtual connection with an Azure Express Route partner. Option A, Azure VPN Gateway. Option B, Azure Express Route. Option C, Azure Virtual Network Peering. Option D, Azure Site-to-Site VPN. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option B. Exam logic. ExpressRoute provides private, high-performance connectivity via a dedicated circuit. VPN gateway uses public internet, not a pre-established circuit. Question 13 of 20. Which Azure service provides centralized management for access, policy, and compliance across multiple subscriptions, allowing you to manage resources and enforce governance at a higher level? Option A, Azure Subscriptions. Option B, Azure Monitor. Option C, Azure Policy. Option D, Azure Management Groups. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option D. Exam logic. Management groups provide hierarchical governance across subscriptions. Elimination queue. Subscriptions are individual, not centralized. Policy is a tool, not the grouping service. Question 14 of 20. Which of the following are examples of Microsoft Entra ID identities? Option A, guest user, an external identity representing users from outside your organization who are invited to collaborate. Option B, member user, an internal identity for users within your organization who have a full account in Microsoft Entra ID. Option C, external partner, an external identity specifically for partners with whom you have a business relationship. Option D, service principal, an internal identity used by applications and services to authenticate and access resources. Option E, all of the above. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option E. Exam logic. All options describe valid Microsoft Entra ID identity types. Exam Q. All of the above is correct when all examples are accurate. Question 15 of 20. Which service is used to synchronize user identities between on-premises Active Directory and Microsoft Entra ID, allowing for seamless management and authentication across both environments? Option A, Azure Key Vault. Option B, Microsoft Entra Connect. Option C, Azure Virtual Network. Option D, Azure App Service. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option B. Exam logic. Microsoft Entra Connect synchronizes on-premises AD with Entra ID. Elimination queue. Key Vault stores secrets, not identities. VNets are for networking. Question 16 of 20. Which security model assumes that no device is inherently trusted, regardless of its location, and requires continuous authentication and verification for each access request, treating all requests as if they originated from an uncontrolled network? Option A, traditional perimeter security. Option B, role-based access control, RBAC. Option C, multi-factor authentication, MFA. Option D, zero trust security. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option D. Exam logic. Zero trust assumes no inherent trust and requires continuous verification. Trap. Perimeter security trusts internal networks. RBAC and MFA are components, not models. Question 17 of 20. At which level of the defense-in-depth security model do Azure services such as Azure DDoS protection and Azure Firewall primarily provide protection? Option A, physical security, safeguarding physical assets and infrastructure. Option B, identity and access, managing user identities and permissions. Option C, perimeter security, defending the network boundary against external threats. Option D, application security, protecting applications from vulnerabilities and attacks. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option C. Exam logic. Azure DDoS protection and Azure Firewall defend the network boundary, making them classic perimeter security tools. The other options are Azure security layers, but not what these services primarily do. Question 18 of 20. True or false? You have created an Azure SQL database instance using a free tier subscription. You have now upgraded to a pay-as-you-go subscription. To use the database, you need to move the database to the new subscription. Option A, true. Option B, false. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option B. Exam logic. Azure databases stay accessible after a subscription upgrade. No move is needed. The trap is thinking an upgrade requires re-provisioning resources. Question 19 of 20. In an enterprise managing a diverse set of Azure resources, which service allows you to create, assign, and manage policies that control or audit these resources? This service helps enforce various rules and standards across your resource configurations, ensuring they adhere to corporate compliance requirements and maintain consistent governance. Option A, Azure Key Vault. Option B, Azure Policy. Option C, Microsoft Sentinel. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option B. Exam logic. Azure Policy is the service for creating, assigning, and managing governance rules. Sentinel is for security alerts, and Key Vault is for secrets, not resource-wide policies. Question 20 of 20. For an enterprise managing a complex IT environment with cloud, on-premises, hybrid, and multi-cloud resources, which monitoring tool provides comprehensive security posture management and threat protection? This tool offers guidance and notifications to help the enterprise strengthen its overall security posture. Option A, Azure Key Vault. Option B, Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Option C, Azure Monitor. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option B. Exam logic. Microsoft Defender for Cloud provides unified security posture and threat protection across cloud, hybrid, and multi-cloud environments. Azure Monitor is broader, and Key Vault is for secrets.